Thank you. Hi, Presidio. How y'all doing? It is such an honor to be back here. Presidio has had such a profound impact on my life and my career trajectory. So, as you've heard, 10 Power is bringing renewable energy to communities across the globe who don't have access to electricity today. And we're doing that through project development and finance, which are the missing pieces that we found from renewable energy just taking over these global markets. Our dream is to serve the 1.2 billion people, or 16% of humanity, that today is living in darkness. And when I think about the renewable energy marketplace, especially for energy access, I see it as a ladder. And most of the companies that you've probably heard of, Empowered, Off-Grid Electric, D-Light, are focused on this bottom rung of the energy access ladder. Very necessary. Phone charging, light at night, improving indoor air quality. But think about it for a minute as yourself. Not as a child in an African village, but just as yourself here today. At the end of the day, are you actually going to be happy with just a flashlight and a phone charger? No. We want 24-hour, reliable, renewable power. And 10 Power is focused on bridging this gap, providing the entire energy access ladder. Energy is the most fundamental building block for sustainable modernization. Without electricity, you can't purify water, let alone have access to a free and open internet. 10 Power is focused on creating sustainable development through renewable energy with a gender empowerment lens. Our first market is Haiti, where there is an incredibly high social return on investment. Haiti has gorgeous beaches, mountains, and a workforce that is so hardworking and looking for opportunity. We've found in Haiti that we can provide financial returns to our investors, jobs to Haitians, as well as renewable energy to our customers, which saves them money every single month. Now, the current portrait of Haiti is similar to many places across the globe that are suffering from the same types of energy poverty. Because the grid is so unreliable, businesses are forced to use diesel generators, which are not only awful from an environmental perspective, they're also putting black particulate matter into the air, which creates a health hazard. Now, if you look at the amortized cost of the generators, of the gasoline, of the operations and maintenance, these businesses are spending close to $1.50 per kilowatt hour. Do you know what the average is in the United States? 11 cents. They're spending over 10 times what we pay for electricity. How is Haiti's economy ever supposed to get ahead when electricity is this expensive? Perfect storm for solar. So 10 Power provides the best of breed technology from across the marketplace. We work with local installers, building capacity and training for international codes and standards. We provide battery backup for 24-hour reliability. We have smart technologies that can monitor the flow of power, that can stop the flow of electricity if need be. And we're really focused on building out communities, hiring women and men from these surrounding areas and teaching them how to do operations, maintenance, and installations. Our first two projects are water purification centers, which are providing clean drinking water to the communities and giving free water to schools. In turn, these enterprises support over 300 micro-enterprises, which are majority female-led. Our next project, which is currently underway, is with one of the world's largest and oldest health organizations. By saving them money on electricity, we're enabling them to provide better health care to Haiti. And we just won a contract with the world's largest children's organization. And this is actually going to be one of their first bases in the entire world that has solar. So we're basically paving the way for this international global organization to get solar on all of their bases. We'll be beginning construction on this project next year. So 10 Power currently has a pipeline of over $100 million worth of projects, and these are commercial and industrial projects. So they range in all different sectors, from education to manufacturing to hospitality to healthcare, throughout Haitian society. By helping these businesses save money, they're able to grow the macroeconomy. We have strong local partnerships with installers and with major strategic players in the Haitian market. And I have an awesome team, ranging from Haitian entrepreneurs, engineers, as well as international bankers, business people, and solar engineers. I'm especially grateful for the incredible support that 10 Power has received, specifically from Presidio. Whether it's been from former professors being on our advisory board, to y'all tweeting when we have a contest going on and helping us get to the finals of the Global Social Venture Competition, to ELs, where we had students come with us to Haiti and do research projects, to the financial support that board members and alumni have pledged to 10 Power. With Presidio's help, we've raised over $0.625 million, and we're still going strong. So 10 years ago, when I made the decision to come to Presidio, I was living in Atlanta, Georgia, working for Portrait Innovations, America's first all-digital photography experience. By day, and by night, I was running an underground arts organization that published a magazine. I was feeling a little bit far from my dreams. It was in that year that I was fortunate to participate on the board of the Bioneers, bringing the first Bioneers conference to the Southeast United States. Inconvenient Truth had come out, and for the first time, news outlets like NPR were using this term sustainability. As a lifelong environmentalist, I felt like the world was finally waking up, and that it was really time to seize the reins and align my career with my mission. So, sold all my shit, rented a minivan, and drove across the country from Atlanta to San Francisco. And I'm so grateful that I did. I love Presidio. You too. I was part of C7, have lifelong friends from this community, and it was such a beautiful experience. When I first came to Presidio, we were still having classes at Fort Mason, and we did one residency per semester at the Marin Headlands. And I remember when I came for my interview, we were sitting there in the headlands with the waves crashing outside, and Hunter Levins was giving a lecture on biomimicry, and she actually stopped class so that everyone could look out the window and witness a mother doe nursing a baby fawn. And that was the moment that I was like, this is my community, these are my people. During my time at Presidio, we actually turned one of our finance ELs into, I think, Presidio's first study abroad. So our cohort, along with the students who had done the finance EL, designed a trip to Nicaragua where we actually went and implemented the EL, which was creating a microfinance model for organic farmers cooperatives in Nicaragua to have access to solar electricity. So we traveled to Rivas, Nicaragua, and we were climbing mountains with donkeys with solar panels strapped on the back with parasites in our stomachs, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. It actually created that spark that led me to launch 10 Power. So it was from products and services, actually, that I launched my first company. And it was this time of year, right after the Products and Services Fair, that we were looking at business competition opportunities. And we said, hey, there's this Walmart Sustainable Business Challenge. Why don't we go ahead and write a business plan for our products and services idea and see what happens? And we wound up going to the finals in Bentonville, Arkansas. We spent all winter vacation writing this business plan, and we wound up in the finals in Bentonville, Arkansas. And they said, hey, this is a pretty good idea. We won a prize. And so we decided to launch PowerZoa as an actual company. And I put 2 years into PowerZoa. It's an energy efficiency device that tracks your energy use all the way down to the outlet level. We were targeting commercial buildings and providing software interface and analytics, as well as the actual hardware to stop the flow of vampire electricity. And we had some pretty amazing partnerships. We got into this accelerator with the NASA launch program, which was also sponsored by the State Department and Nike, and got some pretty good publicity. And in the meantime, we were bootstrapping. So I was actually supporting myself by TAing for finance, Stratman, and culture, value, and ethics, along with consulting on building benchmarking as efficiency laws were being passed in major cities across the US, including San Francisco. And it was a really amazing experience going out there and getting these strategic partners and growing my first startup. And eventually, PowerZoa did fail. And I'm happy to share tons of learnings about that. I recommend raising capital and not bootstrapping if you're launching your idea. But it was boot camp in terms of entrepreneurship. And I'm proud of the time that I put into that venture. One of the partners that we had recruited with PowerZoa to do demand response events was called AutoGrid. And they actually wound up recruiting me from PowerZoa. And AutoGrid is a Silicon Valley startup that has just gone gangbusters. They're doing big data for the smart grid. So we were essentially building apps for utilities to be able to manage supply and demand in real time on the grid and bring renewable energy resources online. And I helped take this company from prototype phase through international partnerships, 14 million in funding, and the company now has over 2 gigawatts globally under management. So that was a real rocket ship in terms of startups and scaling an enterprise. And I was pretty happy from an environmental perspective. It felt really good to be able, with the click of a mouse, to save 10 or 12 megawatts of electricity. We were actually running the largest residential demand response program in the United States at Oklahoma Gas and Electric, where people do not care about being green. But they had this TV ad with a grandma saying, I saved $500 this summer and I bought a ticket to go see my grandbabies. And it was resonating with people. They were saving money. And I was very thrilled on an environmental level, aligned with my passion, but on the social side, still feeling like there was something wanting. After 2 years working in Silicon Valley, I felt like I had hit my head on the glass ceiling. And I think you should never settle. If your triple bottom line is not fulfilled, you should never settle for less. You should make sure that you are personally sustainable and fulfilled, and that you're meeting all of your objectives, socially, environmentally, and financially. So I left AutoGrid, and I started 10 Power. And when doing market research, I found this massive business opportunity. And what's interesting here, when you map out energy poverty, is that the places on the planet suffering from the most acute lack of electricity are actually those geographies with the highest solar potential. The technology is now cheap enough. We have everything we need. The only thing that is missing right now is the business models. And it is the people in this room who are going to design and scale those business models that are going to solve global challenges. So now I'm working in international development, which is fraught with its own set of problems. And when I think about development, developed versus developing countries, I like to think about it in terms of human development. You know, you would never, as a human, just stop and say, okay, I'm developed, everybody be like me now. Right? We're all constantly developing. We're developing new skills, new ways to communicate with each other, new technologies. So when we look at the poorest populations on Earth, at the base of the economic pyramid, and we think about what they're developing towards, what is the aspirational goal that we as a society, as a civilization, as a species are setting? Well, I think it's a little flawed right now. Because if all 7.6 billion humans on the planet had an American's footprint, it would require over 5 planet Earths. And there's only one planet Earth. In tech, the first isn't the best. The first is the alpha, right? We're constantly evolving, 2.0, 5.0, 7.0. So why first world? I think that we need to flip the script on development, that we should be evolving towards the fourth world, and the fifth world, and the sixth world. And I actually think that in places like Haiti, we will be able to pioneer and adopt the technology that in turn will be sold back to what we today are calling developed countries, that will enable us to bring about a renewable revolution. So we already have some trajectories that are pointing us towards the fourth world. The UN Sustainable Development Goals, the Fourth Industrial Revolution papers published by the World Economic Forum, and startups. If y'all are interested in learning more about this theory, I have a TED Talk on it called Fourth World Nation Building. And I really think that the people in this room, the capstone ideas, the products and services ideas, the existing technologies, and helping innovators to get new technologies to market will create the springboard for us to achieve a regenerative future, which is so necessary, now more than ever. Enter business plan competitions. Launch ventures. You have everything you need within yourselves with this Presidio education and with this Presidio community. Congratulations. Thank you.